So welcome back to the second part of video 2, and this time for Microsoft Access database training. This time I'm going to show you now. I've sort of introduced you to the form design. We've just sort of added a label control onto the form, changed some of the properties of the label control, made our form a pop-up form, and some of the other aspects. So we're going to this time look at designing the form as a dashboard for our holiday, our drone holiday properties, DBMS. So if we go to the form, you can see at this stage the form isn't bound to anything. So there's no data, no record source in relation to, I've actually not clicked on the form, I've clicked on the form detail. There's no actual record source. So the first thing is we're going to have each of the staff members' details showing on the dashboard. So this will lead on to whenever we're creating a login system that this will actually filter just to have that specific member of staff showing on the form. So I'm going to have my record source as staff member. So if I go to record source and select staff, I can add existing fields. I'm going to add in the staff ID. So double click and you can drag it over. And you'll see because we named the labels, we set the caption in the actual fields. In the tables, this automatically in the forms, when you add the fields in, we'll set the captions in. So, and then it's a matter of dragging them, resizing them. You've got the grid. If you want to move the label, if you click on the top left hand tab of the label, staff ID, move it in closer. You see I'm using the grid lines to set them. I can also use the properties. So if I went to the properties of the staff ID, I can see it's from the left 3.998. I could just click on this first name and go to the properties, and you'll see that's 3998. I change that to 4.998. You'll see that that moves that out. So I'm going to just keep it the same as the one below above. You might want to then resize that out to maybe the third, and you can just by clicking on it, you can resize using the resize handles, and you can use the move by using the move handles. So staff ID, first name, going to go add existing fields again, and it's again you're in the design tab. You can also drag them across and set them surname. So what I'm going to do is just add all the fields in at this stage. You can actually resize the labels so that they're all the same. And again, form design is very important for the actual look of your interface. So it's like if you're designing a website, you would like it to look good. And position, and you'll see that the position is actually a drop down. That's because in the table we have it as a drop down. So if you were changing a staff or adding a staff, you would probably use the drop down menu for that staff member. In the dashboard, we want to keep this a static field, so we don't want to have a value list in it, and it's just a matter of just going up and dragging down a text box, blank text box, onto the form, clicking on the form. You'll see it's got a text 7 label. I'm going to change that to position. And what I'm going to do in the, move the box a wee bit higher than it. I'm going to go now, and you'll see that this is an unbound field, so it isn't actually bound to any of the fields in the table. So I want to bind that to the S position. And if I go to the property sheet, it's always a good name good practice to name your actual fields. Anything that's going to be a field, so we're going to call this S position, the same name as the actual field. If you go to control source, you'll actually see that it's there, and that means that this will not be a drop down. This will just relate to each record that shows. Might actually just resize them all to make them look the same size. And again, branch is a drop down. Because this is static, we don't want to put that in. We can actually put branch up as a text box here, not a label, text box, sorry. And I'm going to take the label out of the text box because this will change for each member of staff. You can resize it. Then you can set the size. We go into home, so we'll set that to 18. I'm going to change some of the properties now of this control, and the first thing it is that I'm going to bound it so it's S branch is the name, so make sure you name your control, and the control source is going to be the branch. I'm going to go down and take out the background. I'm going to make the background transparent, so this will just show as a branch name at the top. All of that done now, I'm going to save my form, and if I view my form now, you'll see it shows each of the different members of staff. The problem with this is that I could actually go in and delete that 0 and change it to 1, but I don't want to. I'm just going to keep it as it is. So you actually, what we want to do in the dashboard, you log in, you don't want to go and change your position, you don't want to go and change your name, you don't want to do anything. You want to have a form to do editing to the actual staff member. So I'm going to go right click on this. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all these, and I'm going to go to data enabled, and I'm going to set the enabled to no. So when I run my form now, save my form and run it, I can't change anything to do with these fields because they've been enabled. The other, what you want to do is you can also set them as locked. That means that you can't change them when anybody's in them. This here, again, I could go and change that to, so I want to actually disable that as well. So go back to my design view, and I click on my branch, S branch control text box, and I'm going to go and data and enabled no, and I'm also going to take out the border. I don't want the border in it. So if I go to border style, transparent. So we now have a bound form. This form is bound to the staff table, and it gives the staff details. And if I run the form, you'll see it gives the branch, and I can go through each of them. And you can't do anything to change them. What we're going to do is we're now going to actually put a logo in to our dashboard form, and what I'm going to do is right click on the form, and you'll see it's called a form header footer, and that puts a form header, and it also puts a form footer in it. In the form footer you might have a wee label saying copyright of Tyrone Holiday Properties, or you might have something in there, just something simple in the footer of the form. And in the header you'll see that it automatically defaults the header color to grey, so I'm going to click on the form header and you'll see it highlighted, and I'm going to change the back color of the form header to white, because I'm going to put my logo in there, and my logo is actually white. JPEG, I'm going to come down, and in the design, if I go to logo, you'll see I have a logo already created. It's a JPEG, and I can put my logo in. Now what it does is it sets the logo at a specific arrangement and size. So what you can do is you can just click on that dashed line, and when it's highlighted, just hit delete, and you can then resize your logo. Looks a bit too, see. The other thing is, if you wanted the logo the full size of the form, you'll see that it looks a bit out of sync, and it's only a matter of just clicking on the actual control and going over, and you'll see picture size mode, zoom, and if you set it to stretch, it'll stretch the whole side, or clip, which would work like that there. So again, you can resize it to suit whatever way you want it to look, and I'm going to keep it as a clip. So I'll take a look at my form now, see my form and view it, and it looks well. Thrown holiday properties, so my holiday properties isn't looking that good. It's obviously because it's not fully resized. What I might do is I might actually stretch it. So take it down a bit. So again, your logo, it's a matter of adjusting some of the properties. So I now have my form, and all my staff members are in the dashboard. So in the next video, what I'm actually going to show you is some of the actual more advanced techniques of a form. So I'm going to show you how to use VBA code to maybe adjust the color, the background color of a form. So that'll be part 3 of this second video.